Good evening, Soft Tippers. Welcome to Soft Tip Central UK. I'm Dan, and tonight we're going to do a review and comparison of two boards. We've reviewed the Granboard 3S previously, and you can see that review on our YouTube channel. But now we're going to do a review and a comparison of that to the Granboard 132 board. This is the latest release from Granboard and Grandarts as a company. It's their newest board. It's sort of followed on from the 3S. And we're going to look into the differences, the similarities, new features, new functions, and what is available on this board that isn't available on the 3S. This may appeal to people that play a lot of soft steel tip darts that are looking to get into the soft tip game. It's extremely popular, the board size in Europe, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. But first of all, I'm going to quickly look and show you what's in the box. Okay, so a little guided tour on what's in the box. As you can see, you get the board, which is housed beautifully with these two styrofoam pieces to the side. Sometimes encapsulated in these are some accessories, so we'll take that one out to that side, take that one out that side, nothing there. We'll flip this over now and we'll show you that on the back it is exactly the same as a standard Granboard, same instructions on the inside and the same sort of loading area for a ground bracket. Inside this package here we have the screw sets for the ground bracket attachment. I do recommend you get one of these if you are going to be putting the board on the wall. Ground brackets are so simple to use. And also you've got your charging cable there. So that is how it comes in the box. Pretty much the same as the 3S, but you will see some notable differences in the two boards the minute I open the box. But I'm going to go through those notable differences right about now. Okay, so noticeable differences between the Granboard 3S and the Granboard 132. Firstly, I'm going to show you the 132, and then I'll bring the 3S in and I'll show you the differences between the two. Noticeably, you're going to see straight away that the treble segments are considerably smaller. They've actually only got 2 lines of aperture holes in each of the trebles and the doubles, as opposed to the standard 5 that you would get on a regular soft tip board. The bullseye and the 25 again are smaller than what you would get on a standard soft tip board, and also the actual board itself is smaller. It's a smaller board in its entirety. Another big noticeable difference you'll see between the 132 and the 3S is this section at the bottom here. There's one major thing missing that you would see on the 3S board that you don't see on the 132, and that's the red button that would normally sit around about here. That's because this has a touch sensor on the front here, so this section just underneath the word Granboard will light up, and I'll show you that in a second, and that is touch sensitive. So you just touch that to change player or any red button function that you would normally have on the Granboard 3S. It's just a touch sensitive panel on the bottom there. I think because of that touch sensitive panel as opposed to the button, what they're able to do with this board is make it considerably thinner as well. So it's much thinner in comparison to the 3S board. So I will now get my 3S and I will show you the differences of those side by side so you can make a direct comparison. So here is my 3S. Now the first noticeable thing that I can do with this 3S or with this 132 board is I can put it on top of the 3S, and you can see how incredibly small that is in comparison to the 3S. As you can see, the red button here is missing from this one, as I said before, and you'll also notice the thickness of the board is considerably different as well. So it's smaller, and it's, I would say, close to half the width of the 3S board, and you can see that standing on the floor, just how different in size they really are in comparison to each other. And I'll show you on the 3S that you've got the 5 holes here as opposed to the 2 holes that we normally have. The bullseye has got 4 apertures from the inner ball to the outer ball, whereas on this 132 you only have 3 lines, so it brings it in ever so slightly smaller, but the actual bullseye is literally a centerpiece, and that one little ring section there where you've got a whole extra section of holes coming to the outside of the 3S in comparison to the 132. So that's the 2 boards, one on top of the other and side by side. What I'll do now is I'll go and switch it on. I'll see if this will talk to my app, and then we can see the differences between using the 132 board through the app as opposed to using the 3S through the app. So before I go into the app, I kind of wanted to show you the board on the wall to show you what the differences are between this and the 132, or the 3S rather. So I'll switch on the board. As you can see, the lights on the board are, in my opinion, a lot brighter, a lot more virile. I think the LED lights are a lot brighter and stronger than what you would get on the 3S. I don't know if that's because it's reflecting off of a white spider as opposed to black. I don't know, but obviously this is your touch sensor at the bottom here, and that's the touch sensor section there instead of the red button. So that's your indicator. So what you would normally get on a 3S board is a little light over here that will either be red, green, or flash yellow when it's trying to connect. So if I quickly go onto my app, that should log in, show me a green light here to say that we're fully connected. Okay, but I'm going to go over now and I'm going to log into the app, and we're going to see how different it is. Okay, so as we can see, the minute I switched on my Granboard app, it's instantly come up with a notification to inform me that my board size has been changed to update the card information. All guests during the registration will be cancelled, so I haven't had any guests on my board, so that's completely irrelevant. So it's now going to log in, it's going to go through the motions, and it's going to tell me exactly what my play data is. So if I go on to my play data, I have absolutely 0 data on this board. It's not registered anything at all for a change in my board size, whereas all of my other stats for my 3S are completely separate. So that's a really good feature, I think, to the board. It gives you the ability to switch between boards and not affect the current sort of PPD or your current ranking on the other board. Because they are so different, I think that is an essential function for these 2 boards and for people to want to purchase more than one of these boards. So let's go to the top page. So if we go on to online play, and we have a look who's in the open lobby. So what it will do is it will come up with myself up there as a CC. Now I don't know if you can see in the top right hand corner here, there will be a 13. Now that 13 denotes that I'm using the 13-inch board, the 132, okay, and that means that people will understand that I have to play split ball. I cannot play any kind of open ball match against somebody with an open board. Anybody with a 3S would have to play me on a split ball setting. Okay, so if I go on to invite an 01 game, it will automatically tell me that I have to use separate ball. I cannot go in and I can't take that off. I've touched it 3-4 times now and I can't take that off at all. So that's a major difference between the 13, the 132 board and the 3S, is that you cannot play open ball on a 132 board. Okay. All of the other settings are exactly the same. There is no difference in them, just that your page will be different. So obviously this has got my normal Software Central UK page. It's showing my averages as 0 and 0 purely because I've gone to this separate board. So failing that, everything on the app is exactly the same as what you would experience on your on my 3S review. It's just the only thing that does change is the ability to play online.
And I don't know if you can play an 0-1 game as split ball as well. No, yes, you have to use separate ball. It says it in the top right hand corner there. You cannot change that at all. So the only function that you can play on the 132 board is a split ball option or separate ball option. You will not be able to play using the bullseye as 50 and the 25 as 50 also. Okay, so that's the app. Nothing really changes on the app apart from that function in itself. So if you need any questions, you've got any questions on the Granboard 132, feel free to drop us a message in the comments, drop us a line, and I will give you my honest opinion on the board very, very shortly.
Okay, so let's summarise this Granboard, Grand Darts 132 board. So this is it here. What can I say? It is probably one of the most elaborate practice boards you'll ever buy in your life. I think it's absolutely fantastic for people that want to take soft tips seriously as a practice board. It's kind of, in essence, going from using a normal steel tip board to using a Champion's Choice. So if you've ever used a Champion's Choice board, I imagine it would be the same sort of feeling and vibe that you would get using a 132 board. I really, really like the fact that it automatically changes your card the minute you switch boards, so that you don't impact your rating or impact your statistics from your standard soft tip board to using the 132. I think that makes it a really, really encouraging and really, really appealing option for people that want to get themselves a practice board. I like the colouring, and know the reason for this colouring is because this is the colouring that is used on all European boards, most tournament European boards, Spain, Germany, Holland and places like that, and it's the colours that are used mainly on the Radical system, and it's really nice. It goes really, really well with the white as well. I think if it was just standard colouring with the black, I don't think it would tie in anywhere near as well, or wouldn't look anywhere near as good. Absolutely love the touchscreen panel at the bottom. I've played in it a few times. It makes life so much easier, just a slight brush of your hand, and you haven't got another working part or moving part that's liable to break. This specific board here that I have on me now is going to be available to win from us directly, courtesy of Darts Corner. Darts Corner have given us this board to review for you today. And as a thank you to them, we are going to give this board away as a prize. The details of that will go up, and I'll be announcing that at the end of the week. So keep your eyes peeled to the channel to find out how you can win this board and have this board at home yourself. Also, what we are going to do is we're going to integrate Darts Corner into that giveaway. We want to show them the same support that they're showing us. So there will be stipulations that you have to follow to win this board. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We go again. I'm going to go back to the 3S because I've got league games to play. But I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.